Good morning, Quadcopter 101 here, and today's shout out goes to Awanku Barin Pag Ahmad Tajuddin. I hope I said that right. He was first to say first in one of my recent videos, and thus wins this shout out, so congratulations. Good morning, Quadcopter 101 here with a review of the EMax Tinyhawk 2. What is a Tinyhawk 2? Well, as you can see, it's a little micro FPV racer, okay? A follow on to the Tinyhawk and the Tinyhawk S. This one is 75 millimeters, 31 grams. Without battery installed. It's a 1 or 2S brushless. That's the big thing about this. This can also run on 2S batteries. So it's an indoor and an outdoor flyer. It's meant for indoor and outdoor flying. Another big improvement that this has over the previous Tinyhawks is this Runcam 2 camera. Very nice camera with a huge lens in there. Should provide very good quality video for your flight. Now with the drone, it has a video transmitter that is switchable between 0, 25, 100, and 200 milliwatts video transmitter with Smartaudio capabilities, so you can adjust parameters with this and change channels on this. Now, the transmitter itself is it's 25 or 37 channels, okay? Out of the box, it's set to turn off some of the channels that you can use to be FCC compliant. With that in mind, you can turn that off, though, by holding down the channel change button while simultaneously plugging in the battery to get the full 37 channels if you really need them in your particular country, also if they're legal in your particular country to use those frequencies. The flight control board on it is an F4 flight control board loaded up with Betaflight 4.1.0, dated 16 October 2019, so fairly recent. The flight control board also has an integrated 4-in-1 5-amp ESCs for the motors. Also, it has a Frsky D8 D16 integrated transmitter, 8-channel receiver, 8-channel receiver on this. They recommend you flying it in D8 mode if you're using your transmitter. Set it to D8, turn off the telemetry. They recommend doing that for best reception with this particular drone. One thing I had, though, a problem, you can bind it one of two ways by holding down the bind button on the receiver, which is kind of difficult to get to in here. But the best way to do it is to use the CLI commands in Betaflight. However, the CLI command that I noticed in the manual here is inaccurate. I don't think there exists. It was bind _RX _ I believe SPI. The command that you want is just bind _RX. Bind _RX. Don't use the command in the manual, or because it just doesn't work, okay? But that puts this into bind mode, and then you can open up your transmitter, select bind in Frsky mode, and this will connect to this drone. Now, the motors on this, to go with the 5-amp ESCs, are TH0802 16,000 kV motors. Pretty high-speed motors here. However, we mentioned it has 5-amp ESCs, but it's a little problem here is this little PH 2.0 connector only can stand 2 amps. So you're not going to get the full 5 amps going to those motors with this particular connector. You might want to consider switching to XT30 type connector maybe if you want to use that full 5 amps from this particular drone. Okay, but for most cases, I don't do a lot of punch-outs, heavy punch-outs. I'm just going to be doing, probably when I go flying today, is high-speed flying. I like to do high-speed, low-altitude flying, down near the dirt, going between the trees. That's the kind of flying I enjoy to do. Or with an occasional going up into the air and doing a roll or a flip. But for that type of flying, this should be more than appropriate, this connector. Now, it also has what I like for indoor flying or night flying. It has little LED strips behind the prop guard around the edges of the prop guards here. That lights up the drone very well at nighttime, okay, for indoor flying if you want to do that. Now, this particular drone comes with 2 batteries in the box. We get a 1S battery and a 2S battery. 1S for your indoor flying. I'm going to be using it outdoors, of course, and a 2S battery also for outdoor high-speed flying. Now, with that in mind, you also get a little warning here when you want to use the 2S to make sure that you're in profile 2. Otherwise, they're saying if you're using profile 1, which is for 1S lipos, you might have problems. You might lose control under 2S. You know, I have this set to 2S, and I've been using the 1S and the 2S under 2S profile. And I don't seem to be having any problems indoors with this. We'll find out outdoors. I'm going to keep it in 2S, is what I'm trying to say, folks, and fly the 1S and the 2S under 2S and see if there's any issues with that. If there is, I'll just go into the Smartaudio menus and switch to the 1S profile for the 1S battery. Now, this supposedly it does have turtle mode where it'll flip the drone over. I don't like using turtle mode, and I'm not going to demonstrate that particularly out in the field in case grass gets stuck in here between the blades, or if you land indoors, you land on a shag carpet or something. Anything that blocks those blades is going to burn out your ESCs if you try to use turtle mode. So I'm not a big fan of turtle mode. I never use it. Let's see. Finally, I want to talk about the aerodynamics of this particular drone. If you look at this thing, these prop guards, you know, they're not ducks like you see on some whoops. These are actually prop guards because the propellers protrude below them, so they're just strictly prop guards. But they are beefed up with double layer of structure here. Now, the one thing I don't like about this is this blocks airflow. Okay, so I can see degradation of performance using these prop guards the way they got them designed here. Now, I understand why they did it, because the previous versions of the Tinyhawk were very thin and easy to break. So I guess they wanted to beef it up to, you know, prevent breakage. But expect reduced airflow going through here, possibly reduced flight time that you could possibly get with thinner structure than it currently has right here. Okay, this, like I'm saying, this is probably going to reduce flight time because you're going to have to stress these motors more. You're going to have to use more power on these motors to get this same performance as the other Tinyhawks. So that's a downside I see of this. Now, that's about it, folks. Let's go over what you get in the box. You get a full spare set of props in case you lose some of these. And these are just held on by friction, it looks like, so make sure yours are fully pushed in there until you see the pin protruding out the bottom like so. Additionally, you get that warning label by 2S and 1S profile. You get the instruction manual. It's relatively well written, but boy, are these, we're getting tinier and tinier for my old eyes. It's not, you know, it's just not my old eyes having a hard time reading this. I think most people will have a hard time reading this particular one. I have to use a magnifying glass, in effect, to be able to read that manual. You get the drone. You get the 300 milliamp hour 2S battery. They're LiHV batteries, keep that in mind, and a 450 milliamp hour 1S LiHV battery. You get this little USB charger for LiPo and LiHV, and you can switch between the two by moving these little switches up or down, and you can charge on both of these simultaneously, either the left side or the right side, either 2S and 1S in combination, or 2S in combination. You can do that with this particular charger. You get some nice labels, which I'm not going to put on my drone, for EMax. And you get a little bag with a screwdriver, spare rubber bands. Now, these rubber bands are how the batteries are inserted under these, in the belly here. There's a rubber band holding them on, two white rubber bands. And you get some spares if you need them, if you break them. You get some spare screws, and you get another PH 2.0 connector. I'm not sure why they included another one, but you get another one in the box. I would have preferred to see an XT30 connector maybe, but that's what you get. And finally, you get the nice carrying case that goes with this particular drone. So that's the EMax Tinyhawk 2. Let's take it out into the field and give it a try. So hope you enjoy these flights. Good morning, Quadcopter 101, and we are out at one of my favorite flying fields for flying these. This with the EMax Tinyhawk 2. There's a couple of things I forgot to mention in the tabletop review, is that this camera can easily be tilted up or down. I got mine tilted way up for forward flight. You know, I want to do high-speed forward flight. But another thing I forgot to mention is in Betaflight, this is set up so that this will disarm if it exceeds, if you put it on the ground and it's sitting like that, it will not arm. And the idea being is they don't want, if there's anything obstructing these propellers, such as if it's tilted like that, it might be actually, the propellers actually might be touching the ground. They don't want those these motors to arm while there's something obstructing the propeller. So that's why it's set up that way, folks. You can turn that off in Betaflight. turn off the angle restriction for arming, but I don't recommend it for that reason. So you don't want to have anything obstructing these props while they're being armed. And actually I should have turned this transmitter on first before arming the drone. Okay, what I need to do is try to tilt this up a bit. Let's see if this will arm. And we're going to start off with angle flight. Stabilized. Let's see if we can see. Right now it's not arming because I do not, for one thing, I don't have this turned on. Hold on, let's make sure it is turned on. Okay, let's select arm in angle mode. Let's see if we can get to the air. See, it won't fly because of that. So we're going to have to tilt this a bit and adjust this so it does sit flat if we can get it. There we go. Now it's sitting flat. It should be able to arm, and let's take off. Okay, this is with a 1S battery. It's not the stock 1S battery. I just want to demonstrate it line of sight flying to show you it flying. It is rather a nice flyer in stabilized mode. Meant for indoor flying in stabilized mode. I'm going to try that later on. Now let's put it into horizon mode. Going up, doing a flip. Bringing it back over, going up, forward flip. Bringing it around, coming down, bringing it closer. And again, this is not the stock battery that I'm using. I'm using just a spare 1S that I had. But going up, bouncing it off the ground. I got to go up a bit higher to do those flips. One more. Okay, let me put the stock battery in now, folks, and then we'll do some FPV flying. We'll start off with 1S and then go to 2S. So hold on. Okay, we had to move because they're watering over there with the sprinklers here, so we came over here to fly. First thing before takeoff, since we got using a 1S battery, I'm going to go into Smartaudio by moving the left stick up and to the left and the right stick full up. Let's do that again, and that brings up the menus. And I want to go to Profile, and then I want to select Pit Profile 2. Okay, we have it. Actually Pit Profile 1. This seems to automatically recognize when you're using a 1S or 2S batteries, because this was set to 2S before. It was Profile 2, but we're going back again, and then we're going down to Save and Exit. Okay, we should be good to go. Now, I'm going to hit Exit. We're in Profile 1, and arming the motors, or actually going to air mode, then arming the motors, and away we go. Let's see how this works out. The view on this looks really nice. Right now, it's a really nice picture on this. We are in 1S mode. It's not really zippy. I expect it to be in 1S mode, but boy, the camera looks nice. We'll fly by us here. Can't go to the left there because of the water, but let's go down to the field a bit. Turn it around. Now this is 1S flying. Go around the tree. Not bad for a 1S. It's actually behaving kind of nice. Let's do a high-speed pass in 1S. Zoom. Going around the tree. Cut back the throttle a bit here before that turn. Coming around us again. Let's go over this way here. Going around these. Now I'm not going to go between those because I'll lose signal, but we'll go around them. And power's we're 3.35 volts. We're doing good there. Let's go around this over here. So yeah, it's a nice flyer, nice 1S flyer. Coming around us. Zipping over there. I don't hear the water anymore. Did they turn it off on?
No.
Still running?
Still running.
Okay. Sorry. I was going to try to go over there because I don't want to get wet. Or I'm trying to avoid going over there because I don't want to get wet. Same low battery, but we still got 3.26 volts. Still good. Between these trees here. Very nice flyer. profile 1 seems to be good. Nice profile for it. Well, we still got some power. We'll go up high a bit. Higher, 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 and try a roll. Going up higher again, trying another roll. Coming right over our heads, so we're going to have to land here soon. But we got over 2 minutes flight time with that LiHV battery, and it seemed to work rather well. So I'm impressed. We'll try some more. When I put the 2S battery in, we'll try some higher speed flying. 3.1. I'm going to land now. And disarming. Okay, there's our dog. Okay, let me pop in a 1S battery and see how it flies then. So hold on, folks. Well, it's another day. That second flight, I forgot to turn on the recording on my cameras, or on my goggles here, and I didn't get any footage. So we're doing it again. It's the next day. Okay, we are set up with 2S battery, and I am going to air mode, and next arming the battery, or arming the motors. Motors are on, and we should go. And here we go. Let's see how this 2S works out for us. Okay, got to get a feel for it, 2S. It's already, wow. Just tried out the power from this, but it's saying land now already, but that was a freshly charged battery, so there is a lot of lag, or sag, folks, because of that PH2 connector with the 2S. So, you know, I have sufficient battery power, but just a ton of sag. Okay, with that in mind, let's just fly it around then. Flying around us, going up, roll over. And coming around, 3.15 volts. Let's do a high-speed pass. And go around the tree. Around that tree. And around through this tree. And around through this tree. Just slaloming with the little thing. It is a good flyer. It's just that as a 2S battery flyer, it's not so well. You know, because that sag, voltage sag. I'm going to fly it. Bias again. And it's not much more zippier, I got to say, than the 1S. The 1S seemed to be reasonably well. So notice how the voltage goes down and then comes back up again, so you can fly more. And goes down, comes back up. Right now I'm starting to think we're getting close to the edge because it's staying under. There we go. Oh, it goes back up again and it's slow down. So we're going to think about landing it here shortly. So you get about 2 minutes of flight time, as you see, with the 2S battery. So I don't know, you know, people want to do this. One more. People want to do that. Oh, I got to land right now. Coming over. We landed there. I hope I didn't destroy that battery, but yeah, we got about 2 minutes of flight time with the 3S battery. Really, that 1S flight would land over there. Okay. Really, the 1S battery is more than sufficient for this drone. That first flight I did. So the 2S gives you a bit more punch in case you want to do freestyling, mainly for freestyling, I would say. You know, I was going as fast as I could forward here. I didn't notice much of a speed increase over flying it with the 1S battery. Still very maneuverable, even with the 2S battery. But again, you know, it's just not enough flight time that you would expect from this battery, from this larger battery. It was more punch, but again, mainly for freestyling. So I hope you liked the flight of the Tinyhawk 2. This is Quadcopter 101, signing out. Hi, Quadcopter 101 here again. Hey, if you want to get your own shout out in one of my future videos, make sure you subscribe to my channel. It's real simple. Just go to my channel page and click on that subscribe. And also make sure to click that bell button right next to the subscribe button. That way you get notified when I release a brand new video immediately and give you a chance to get that first shout out. So give it a try, folks.